That's awesome. Well, football is back. It is back, and it is back. And first and foremost, Kevin, want to get your opinion on no players on PUP, no hurt. Everybody played to some extent. That's one of the first times I've ever seen that happen. Every team usually has a couple guys on PUP. The Bills made a concerted effort to come out of the gate healthy, build their roster with youth, with health, speed, and a couple of the other factors. So that's encouraging. I figured we'd get a couple of shocking hurt players, didn't you?
Yeah, especially considering that Matt Milano was a full participant, and they said that they intend for him to be a full participant throughout the summer. Now, obviously, they're probably going to want to limit him. They don't want to rush him back too much. He's not going to be playing every snap during the preseason and things like that. But considering where they were at a few weeks ago, because during mandatory minicamp, didn't they have about 4 or 5 guys, veterans, who were a little bit dinged up between Mike Edwards had that shoulder injury. Was Daquan dealing with something? I know Matt Milano was. Terrell Bernard obviously coming off
Mike
that injury.
Edwards, all their safeties.
Yeah.
Like everybody was hurt in minicamp. But that's, it's not a huge deal, but it looked like to be all minor.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's great news. And who knows? This is a youth movement that we've been waiting for, and maybe it'll pay off because the last couple of years that the Bills have been dealing with a lot of injuries. So that was one of the reasons why they wanted to get younger, because it wasn't working with that old core. So you inject some youth, and who knows? Hopefully they can stay healthy throughout the summer and into the season.
Yeah, one of the best things I heard from the press conference today was Josh Allen's was, you can say that he finds a player every year to point out to, but Mac Hollins, his love for high pointing Mac Hollins. And, I think we kind of heard the same thing with Trent Sherfield for different reasons last year about his ability to come down with the ball. Totally different players, but still the same type of love from Josh Allen. So I don't know how much we can take away from it, but just the amount that he liked Mac Hollins was originally something that jumped out to me. The ability for these guys to come down with the ball seems like the Bills also made an effort to get players who catch the ball. Quite frankly, they were sick of drops. They're sick of not getting help for Josh Allen. And also McDermott said he feels like the number one receiver role is going to be spread out between the entirety of the unit. So he doesn't necessarily need a number one guy out there that everyone's going to step up when the time comes. And the Bills decided to put as many people on the practice field as possible. What are some of your reactions to the love for Mac Hollins? That was kind of shocking to me. I didn't expect to hear that, as well as the competition level at the receiver position seemed to be full strength.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when I heard Josh talk about Mac Hollins, because not that Mac Hollins isn't worthy of it, but you're thinking about the receiver room, and you would think about Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir. And for him to give that kind of love to Mac Hollins, I think that kind of speaks volumes, because, we've gone throughout the summer trying to project the 53-man roster, and we said that Mac Hollins is pretty close to a lock based on his contract and how we think the Bills are going to use him. And when we had former Bill Stevie Johnson on a few weeks ago, actually it was more than a month ago now, but He said that he loves Mac Hollins too. So Mac Hollins is getting a lot of love. And the thing that kind of stood out with me the most was that Josh said that Mac is himself. He doesn't try to put on a front or a different face and try to be someone who he's not. That's why you see him walking around barefoot, and guys respect that, because he's going to come in and do his job. And I don't know if this is where you're going with it, but that kind of leads me to Chase Claypool, because I'm curious to see what his trajectory is going to be, because this is a huge camp. And I think it's more about the mental side than it is the physical side, because he has all the physical traits and tools that you need to be successful. And talking about that wide receiver depth chart, we were saying that it's probably Matt Hollins as wide receiver 5. And then right after that, you have Claypool, Justin Shorter, and KJ Hamler battling for wide receiver 6, maybe 7 if they decide to keep one. But I think this is going to be huge for Claypool, because I think this is going to be from the neck up. They want to test him and see, how is he going to respond? Is he going to show up late? Is he going to be there for his teammates? Is he going to be willing to do things when the ball's not in his hands, like someone like Mac Hollins will?
Yeah, I think what's interesting is Chase Claypool's ability to play special teams. I think that if he's able to do that, and what he's shown that he was able to do in college, and what he's shown to do in general throughout his career with Ben Roethlisberger, I really think that it's Chase Claypool's job. I really think so. I felt that way from the beginning. I felt that Chase Claypool has a leg up on the 6th receiver job, and Justin Shorter, Andy Isabella, and KJ Hamler as the main practice squad candidates, first guys up in need with injury. That's kind of how I feel the Bills. I don't think the Bills will feel like they're going to get a guy poach at this position. I really don't. So I think that they can stash whomever they would like, Terrell Shavers, whoever they would like on the practice squad. So preseason's pretty big for this unit. I'm pretty sure the Bills now, including Matt Collins, have 5 locks. Kevin, do you agree 5 locks at this point, or you still only give him 4 locks? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure of 5 locks.
I think so. I mean, are we confident that MVS has a role on this team? Because I
think so.
Yeah. I think that the moment that they signed him was kind of like a tell for me about how they want to run their offense. So as soon as he signed that contract, I said, this is pretty much going to be like that guaranteed vertical deep threat. This is exactly what the Bills needed. Unless he just shows up and just does not perform at all and totally underwhelms, then maybe they make a move. But as long as he shows up and plays consistently and consistently well, I would say that he is wide receiver 4, Hollins wide receiver 5, locking in 5 wide receivers, leaving probably just one position open as we, move down the chain here.
For sure. Like, I think that ultimately there is going to be a good competitive battle at that 6 receiver spot. But I do think there's 5. There's nothing that's going to change my mind yet on the 5 locks. I think that that's where I'm going to stay. And I think that, there's going to be a great receiver 6 battle. If no one steps up, the Bills could get witty and waive everybody if they need that roster spot. But I do think that battle for receiver 6 is going to be very, very intriguing as we push forward. We're going to definitely need a few more days of training camp. The offense looked great today in general. Looked for once ahead of the defense, which is stunning.